Hey everyone, welcome to That Pedal Show. Dan here.
Mick here, hello. Please subscribe.
And also, don't forget to head to thatpedalshowstore.com and grab some merchandise.
It's a very nice Raglan
You love
baseball
this?
type t-shirt you're wearing there, Dan.
It's really nice, actually.
Yeah, they're good, they're nice. Available in That Pedal Show store right now. Right, this video is called something like the pedals we couldn't live without, but we did anyway. Over the 10 years of That Pedal Show, you will know, if you're a regular viewer, that we've just totally fallen in love with some pedals and couldn't live without them, and then all of a sudden somehow seem to almost never use them again.
Yeah.
Which doesn't happen for any other reason than that we're lucky boys and we're spoilt with a ridiculous number of things to choose from. But so anyway, in a theme that will probably be repeated, we've chosen a bunch of stuff today. Daniel, what have you chosen?
Well, I've got a couple of things. I've chosen the Big Sky, which is that Big Sky there is the first pedal on the first show we ever did.
That's on the TheGigRig channel. It's still there if you want to go and watch it.
10 years ago. The original Angry Charlie.
Yeah.
And there's a whole story behind this, which then eventually turned into the Andy Timmons signature pedal.
The AT.
The AT and the AT Plus. And the Muffroom Cloud. That was also our first ever... We did a TPS release of like 30 Muffroom Clouds before it became the Fallout Cloud.
Yeah, we should say for legal purposes, it is now officially called the Fallout Cloud, and there should be no references to muffs at all to anger the great gods at Electro Harmonics. Anyway, it's a fuzz in the muff vein. I've chosen three: the Van Weelden Royal Overdrive.
Yeah, man.
Me and Pete on Guitar Paradiso on Anderton's got really fizzy about this. Totally fell in love with it, and it appeared on That Pedal Show a couple of times early days.
Yeah, you went out with your hard-earned fun vouchers and purchased one. It was really expensive. Like,
I'm not sure I did.
Yeah, you did. I remember.
Did I?
I remember because you got really excited. You went and bought it. It was like 600 quid or something.
Did I?
Yeah.
I can't remember if Lee Anderton might have given it to me, but anyway. You'd think I'd remember. Maybe I bought it at trade. I can't remember. It all sort of fades into one. The Carpe Diem.
The Carpe Diem
was the second pedal we ever did with Fire Custom Shop in Brazil. And it's, a Marshall-y flavoured overdrive. We'll get into that. And finally, I've chosen the Analogman ARDX20, which for the longest time, Dan and I were just welded to.
Yeah.
I would say from the first days of That Pedal Show, you had the one that was in the different shape box.
Yes.
Along with the Amazeo foot controller.
And I traded mine to get the 65 telly.
Oh, did
that was
you?
part of the deal.
Oh, wow.
With a bunch of gear, and he was so desperate because you couldn't get the Amazeo for love nor money.
Yeah.
And he said, I really want that. And I'm like, okay.
Let's get into it then. We'll go through them in turn, and we'll tell a bit of the story, maybe not exhaustively, but who knows, this is That Pedal Show after all. Where do you want to start then, bud?
Let's start. I'm going to start with a Big Sky, only because we're going to have it on for quite a bit, because there's no reverb in these amplifiers.
Ooh, amps today.
Yes, amps today. Hello.
What? I wonder what the settings are.
We've got the Laney LA30BL.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what it actually is.
That'd be great.
No idea. Put it on screen. It's the 30-watt modern version of the Supergroup.
Okay.
And we had it on the show many years ago.
Yes.
And absolutely fell in love with it.
Yes, completely.
Never got one.
No.
But then Paul Stacey brought this one around, so we've been using it quite a lot just recently.
And it sounds
It's
phenomenal.
It's
phenomenal thing.
Yeah. On a 212. It looks like a 412, but it's a 212.
And it's a great sounding 212. Yeah. And then the Philmosound. This is awesome.
We met a guy called Phil Harris at one of the gigs we did with That Pedal Show band over in Leicestershire, I want to say. And Phil was there, and he converts but also completely rebuilds the old cinema style amp. So it's a rebuild. It's not like a mod to a cinema style amp. It is a rebuild of a Bell & Howell. And it's got some super vintage tubes in there, everything really beautiful. It's his own design. It's not like a clone of anything.
Yeah.
And we've got it on a 2-rock 1x15 cab, and glorious it is sounding too.
Yep, really loving it.
Yeah. And as you can see, just look at it. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's magic.
Like, what's the red thing?
Is that a choke? I don't know.
Literally no idea.
No, it's not. That's okay.
Fire
Anyway,
extinguisher?
yes, it's for legal reasons. It has an internal fire extinguisher.
So those are today's amps. They're both running all the time. Yeah, they're both just on dual mono. Everything's going to everything.
Yeah. So just the amps by themselves. And the show there.
A lot of low end today.
Yeah,
It's very nice.
Okay. But I'm going to start with the Big Sky because we're going to have it on a bit because neither of these amps have reverb in it. So this is the pedal that was on the very first ever show, that pedal show. And I had gotten into this because, I'd always just had...
Because Shimmer.
Because Shimmer was one of the things. I'd always just had a bit of, reverb or whatever. And when they came out with this, I'd had the timeline. I had basically all the Strymon's up to that point. They came up with the timeline. When they brought this out, I was a little bit confused as to its reverb. What can I do with reverb? Turns out you can do a lot with reverb. That the sound that we used for the first thing, for example, so it that's a big sounding hall reverb. But then there were these
was that the Bloom algorithm?
Bloom algorithm.
So fair play. I mean, try not to talk too much, but fair play to Strymon, right? These days, fancy ass reverbs like this can be had in tiny little pedals because of the endless march of digital signal processing. Yeah. When this came out, I would say it was uncommon to hear those kind of really well-modelled, really good sounds of spaces outside of rack gear.
Yes, yeah, it
wasn't really happening in pedals at that time.
No,
and it was a game changer.
That's right. There's a common thing with Strymon. It was like studio gear in a pedal.
Yeah,
and this was another sound that I really dug. They call this the cloud thing. With that infinite hold. So I used this with the prog band I was playing, and it's got some really fantastic sounds. And it was the first time I'd really got into the ambient thing, and I really dug it. For most of the time today, it's got a spring reverb algorithm, which is okay.
It's okay. It's
all right.
Pretty decent. Maybe we'll try some others when we go along. Like I want to hear a couple of the rooms in it. Because one thing that I find remarkable about this is quite often with older digital gear, you hear it and it's like, oh yeah, that sounds very much of its time. That feels like it stands up against
seriously
anything.
After playing the Sedan, going, oh, maybe back on the board.
And it's what, 12 years old?
At least.
Yeah, something like that?
Yeah.
So I'm listening to it there going, that sounds really, really, really good.
Yeah, it's wonderful. We do have it in stereo between the two amplifiers. But I just, for those, just
help me out with a room setting.
Yeah,
can you?
absolutely.
Can you just find me a small room setting?
Yeah, I can do that.
Smaller? been listening to Ronnie Jordan a lot recently.
Oh, nice.
Can it just tail a little bit longer?
Yep.
This is the scintillating content you come to that pedal show for. Tiny bit longer. See, to me, that's where digital reverbs excel.
Yes.
If you're buying a digital reverb purely for its spring emulation,
Yeah.
and
It's hard
spring,
work.
if spring is all you use, just get a spring reverb.
Yes.
But actually, all the rooms and the spaces and everything, I mean, I appreciate this is old news for most of you, but they just do it. There's no other way of doing it.
No. Unless you get it, massive EMT you want to drag out on the road.
Yeah.
But I love how...
Did you save that preset?
I did indeed. That'll be the reverb we use for today. But I love how that still stands up to anything else that we use. Magic. So there you go. I'm back to being fizzy about the Big Sky.
I'm digging it. Okay, let's go Carpe Diem then. I cannot remember how this works. I was confused about it back in the day. What does the switch do?
But it goes between modern and vintage, and I think it's a higher gain. I think it changes a bit of the EQ curve as well.
Yeah, because we've got... Oh, I see. It's colour coordinated. Let's stick with classic then.
Indeed. Okay.
Do we think?
Yep.
One of the things about age is I'm really struggling to see. I need to go to the opticians again, but I can see that says true bypass. So go on. Let's just see if I can make it work.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
There we go. All right.
Can we turn the reverb down just a bit?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to dictate the reverb
That's
settings.
okay.
But if you want to use something different, by all means do.
That's great. No, I dig it.
Sure.
Yeah. Come on!
I can't see why we like that at all. Oh man, that sounds amazing.
That is absolutely killer.
I don't know. Maybe something about these amps today.
Yeah. But isn't it good?
Wow. All right then. Why did you stop using the Big Sky?
I don't know. I think the spirits broke up.
Yeah.
And I wasn't
we will never play again.
And I wasn't using those big things. I think I got back into the delay more than the verb, and I just I don't know why. I don't know why I stopped using it. It's such a cool sound.
I think that's the point, isn't it? You ebb and flow with the things you're interested in at any one point.
Yeah.
And I guess, not to be too self-referential about it, but for me and Dan, we're pretty visible about the things we like. Sometimes it can be taken as, I don't like that anymore. And it's not that. It's just, we are, is an embarrassment of riches, really. So you just go off on a new direction, or you want to explore something, or maybe something new comes out and you're like, how does it stand up? And so you go off. Carpe Diem, I mean, I just can't understand. I went for ages trying to find a good Marshally rock sound. Was going through like Box of Rock, various Thorpy things, just never quite settling on it.
Yeah. Isn't that good?
It's really good. Yeah, it's like really, 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 really good.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, speaking of Marshally type sounds then.
Yeah. So there was a little video I saw a couple of weeks ago where Josh Scott was talking about the history of the Angry Charlie.
Our best to Josh Scott, by the way.
Yes.
Josh had a pretty horrific bicycling accident, as far as we can tell.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Josh, we hope you're doing okay and the recovery continues. I haven't seen any updates recently. So
Yeah, I texted him. He texted me yesterday just to say, he's getting better slowly. But bless him. Did you see what's his name? John Mayer?
Oh, yeah.
Did a video showing one of Josh's pedals, saying, well, Josh is in the hospital at the moment, so I'm going to sit down and do a couple of pedal demos for him.
Oh, well.
And it's like, what? It's like incredible. Yeah.
Well, get well soon, Josh.
Yes,
get well
mate,
soon.
get well
I hope
soon.
your recovery is not too prolonged.
Yes. Yeah, so there's a video that Josh put out talking about the history of the Angry Charlie.
Yeah.
And I can't remember exactly the timeline, but from memory, what happened was we were with Andy Timmons. He was doing an in-store at Guildford, doing a thing for Andertons, and the rock channel on the dirty channel on his Mesa,
Lone Star
the
went
Lone
down.
Star, it went down, and he needed an overdrive pedal. Now, I think he had bought this with him. I think so. I don't think I had it with me and gave it to him. I think he bought it with me and I'd heard it. Thought it sounded great. And then I got one, and then we had it on the show. Before that, they were going to cancel it because it wasn't selling. To this day, it's one of their best sellers.
Wow. And this is the V1.
This is the V1. This
We've got
is the
all
original.
the other Vs up
That's
there
right.
with switches and things.
But this is the one that we had on the show that I said, this is my fave new distortion.
Volume, drive, presence and tone. Mm-hmm. And supposed to be Marshally voiced, like a higher gain version of the Charlie Brown, right?
Yes.
Which was yellow.
Which is yellow. Up there on the shelf.
Yeah, somewhere around.
Yeah.
Come on then. Start with low drive. Now, doesn't one of these pots work the wrong way around?
Probably.
We'll find out. One thing I liked about JHS pedals of this era, and it may be true now, but I don't know, they were always loud.
Yeah.
Tons and tons of output on
Yes.
tap, so you could really, really hammer the amp.
Yeah.
Killer, man.
Isn't it good?
Yeah, it is. It was both of those that work the wrong way around.
Oh, okay.
So they get more trebly the more you put them to the left,
Right.
which, probably cost them a lot of sales, but... Because you're going, oh man, it's just so dark. I can't get any treble out of it. We probably did that. Let's have a quick go with this guitar then. What's cool about it is in these like high gain,
Yep.
you can put loads and loads of bite on, and I think it does sound kind of martially. Although this guitar might squeal a bit, but let's see. So by adding loads of gain and making sure you've got a ton of treble and presence dialed in, that to me is the sound of a crank Marshall.
Yeah.
But check that out. Take off some of that bite, turn the gain right down, put the volume up, and we've got a pretty reasonable. Normally, with overdrive pedals, they're either really, really good low gain or really, really good high gain. I like that.
Yeah.
I something about these amps today.
It is. I think that has to be doing it because it's extraordinary.
The amps are pretty sexy.
I just want to hear it with the SG from Memento.
It's a pretty decent rock guitar sound, I would say.
I'd be really happy with that.
That would pass the pub test.
Yeah.
Be interested to see where the mids sit with the band. But, man, very, very groovy. I could see why we liked it.
Yeah.
Let's give ourselves some respite from the ridiculous gain then and go to the Muffroom Cloud. So, a Muffy fuzz, as we know. But the really cool thing about the Muffroom Cloud, as I remember, is that it's got bass and treble,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And there were, for a long time, that circuit has been, it's one of the first boutique-y type circuits that people started doing copies of. Because, I think primarily because of David Gilmour, because, he was such a big a massive big muff, a big muff user.
I think also there were so many versions of the Big Muff, weren't there? So there's
Yes, that's
you
right.
see that one up on the back shelf there.
Yeah.
That's the one that a lot of people recognise.
Yeah.
You know, the classic big box Electro Harmonics one. Then you've got the
Russian
Russian green ones.
Yeah.
And they all sound very different too.
all sound different.
Predominantly in the mid-range.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put two and two together and say people are going, well, they all sound really different.
Yeah.
What's the differences? I need to pull it apart and have a look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah? No?
Absolutely. But, you know, you've got like the ram's head and the pie and it's like what makes that sound the way it does, and let's get all the best components and do a boutique version of it. And loads of people have done wonderful versions of it, but what we loved about this is the bottom end of the big muff has always been the thing, but with this you could tailor that to the amps you're using, because sometimes big muffs into a closed back cabinet could sound amazing and sometimes not, because depending on how much
And
flappy trouserness.
chiefly where the mid-range in all of that sits as well.
Yeah, completely.
Come on, let's have a listen. I turn the bass all the way up. It's like, oh, mummy. Noise. Epic. 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 Noise. Bloody hell, mate. We keep switching guitars.
Sorry.
I got to do the opposite.
Sorry, I want to just try it with the telly for 1 second.
I'm trying to make sure there's always humbuckers and singles on screen. Otherwise, the single coil people turn against the humbucker people. and we're in all sorts of trouble. I couldn't tell what was sustain and what was feedback and delay. Yeah, I just gave you a bit of extra mucking about there.
It's a riff monster with the humbuckers, but the single line stuff, like with the Telecaster, is super, super inspiring.
Is that where we were for the room sound?
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever operated a Big Sky even remotely successfully.
Awesome.
Yeah. Also turned on the ARDX20, which we'll get to, I think, at the end. Yeah, killer, man. I wanted to add all that ambience in because it puts me in that mood of noise.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like.
And it stands apart from the rock Marshall thing.
Yeah.
Because you can hear that it's a pedal, right? It's not trying to be a cranked amplifier. You can hear it's a fuzz, but it interacts and just becomes part of that sound. And it's such an inspiring thing. It's like, just hearing it again, it's like, yeah, man, I hadn't heard a Big Muff, and it was that bottom end control where you could just get it to the right point.
Get it right where you want
it.
Yeah, killer.
Awesome.
So just to say again, it's now called the Fallout Cloud, should you want to buy one. Okay, Royal Overdrive then. Last of the noisemakers. I first came across this when I was doing demos with Pete on the Andertons channel, the Guitar Parody ones. And it was hilarious at the time because Van Weelden, a Dutch company, Peter, his name is, hi Peter, giant overdrive pedal that cost 500 quid, I think it was at the time. Mm-hmm. And it weighs a blooming ton as well, which means there's obviously quality in it. As an aside, genuinely, I bought microphones like that before as a kid. Go into the shop. I love that one. This is a heavy one.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a non-consummated relationship with Van Weelden and Bonamassa. I don't know if it was over this pedal, but Bonamassa used to play the Van Weelden amps, which are Dumble type amps.
Okay.
As one of his many amps. And the Royal Overdrive, I think, was conceived as a sort of way to get that sound without needing a Dumble amp.
Okay.
So it's actually in the Dumble world.
Right.
Although we tread carefully around that these days because everything's in the bloody Dumble world. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Overdrive pedal. And what I liked about it was it's massive.
Yes.
It's quite tweaky. Those two switches you can see top left, the mode switch and the bright switch, they're really there to just optimize what you're doing with it. And one combination of the switches will work
Right.
most to your liking. We've gone with that. So I don't know where we are, but let's just start. So have a plate. Got a big chunk out of one of my nails. Sorry.
It's all right.
So really, really vocal
Yes.
upper mids. Sorry.
And that's without the mid boost on.
It is. I have just snapped one of my nails. The mode and the bright do affect that general tonality.
Okay.
But I'm not going to muck about with them now because it's just too much hassle. But of course, we're running relatively low gain here and quite high master. So just play a bit down and I'll sorry, I can't play and tweak.
Amazing lead tone.
Yeah, it's kind of noisy.
Yeah, I remember it being noisy.
I don't remember it being that noisy before, but and then I don't know why that is now. Yeah, a little bit noisy. So you're getting into that, and then of course if you get into humbuckers, I can't remember if I've just changed all the settings or not, but then you get into humbuckers, and then it's got the additional mid boost as well as the gain boost, so it can go really gaining. You've really got to have your big boy trousers on
You gotta step up for that one.
Because and I think this is what I remember loving about it so much, is there are Dumbley style pedals that are all bloated lower mids.
Right.
And I've said this so many times, it's almost like, I appreciate I start sounding like a broken record, but when you miss that extended high end and bite, that's not the sound. I don't think that's the sound. I think the sound is where you've got all that extra, so that maybe with slightly less gain than that, to be fair.
Right.
Where all of this, all of your pick inflection, all of your everything you want to say as the player comes out. And I think that's, to me, that's what defines if there even can be such a thing as the Dumble sound. If you go like David Lindley, Larry Carlton,
Yes.
Robin Ford,
Yeah.
Eric Johnson when he used them, just such a huge variety of players and tones. Sonny Landreth, people that have used them, even though the tones are different, the unifying factor in all of that is that those guys sound only and exactly like themselves, in a very specific way. And I can remember when playing it, those upper mids and the sort of harmonics in it are all in a beautiful place to really get this all happening. But yeah, just super, super playable, really present, clear, good transients, because that's the other thing. When you start to bang on loads of gain, it's really easy to lose transients.
Yes.
But yeah, that's what I remember. It is, as you could probably tell, it's quite the thing to control.
Yeah. It's the bear that you need to wrestle to the ground.
And I'll say again, you've got to put your big boy trousers on if you're going to use it loud through a tube amp. But then that is the gateway to sounding like yourself, in my opinion.
It will be worth revisiting, because since we've done a Dumble show, there's been a plethora of really great Dumble things.
Yeah.
We can get Robin in. We'll go and grab the Dumble. But I think it'd be really interesting because, we're very fortunate that Robin's a mate of ours and the Dumble's down the road. And that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's the Dumble. That's the first amp. That's the first Dumble I heard and went, that's the sound. That's the sound.
Yeah.
And, but that does have that upper frequency.
Very much so.
And it's that vocal thing.
Yeah. I'm just going to do one last bit of playing. I'm going to turn the gain down a bit and just see if. Just to see if that singing, less gain, harmonics thing is there.
Sure.
I doubt all of that will make the edit, but just getting to that point where the notes will go
into that harmonic feedback.
into harmonic, and
Yeah.
then that's the beautiful place. Anyway, sorry, gilded that lily enough.
Awesome.
Yeah, man, I remember it being a fight
Yes.
to
Yeah.
just get it to sit.
But when you got there, it's a glorious thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
All right then, ARDX20.
ARDX20. So, our good mate Mike Piera, aka Analogman, he was making these analog delays for ages. A couple of things that we really love about them. There's 2 sets of controls, and you can switch between 2 sounds, and you can also do it with a remote switch. So I was doing that at the time from G2, but from G3 you can switch between those 2 analog delay tones. But then he brought out this sexy little number called the Amazeo.
And it looks different now, and I think it's called the Amaze 2, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. But this is the old version of it.
And what it did is it gave the ARDX20 a way to tap the tempo and also add modulation.
And presets.
And presets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so in the A and the B sides, the Amazeo, as far as I'm aware, only controls the B side.
Yes,
In the
that's right.
ARDX20.
That's right.
And the way it does the modulation, did you just say this, is via control voltage?
Yeah. I didn't say that, but yes.
It's not via any digital schmickery or anything like that. It's literally...
It's taking the
It's
delay
totally
time
analog.
with the control voltage thing and changing the delay time.
Yeah.
And it sounds just incredible.
And you can have it turned on and off. So one of these switches, and I never remember
The left
which,
one is the modulation, right is tap.
So you can tap tempo, which we'll do in a sec. Yes, you can vary the depth and speed of the modulation using these jobbies there. So if I'll stick it on A a minute. The way I used to use it was I would set up A as a slap.
Okay.
Go on. We'll turn the reverb off a minute just so there's no complication, so you know that you're only hearing the delay.
That's the sound. That's the sound.
I can't remember what the shortest delay time is. Just try this a sec. You can get into those really, really super short flangey, especially if it's... Right, check this out then.
Mate.
So that I would use side A for slap. The longest delay time on side A, I think, is the same for side B, but here's the longest delay time on side A.
That's very respectable.
Yeah, pretty decent. And obviously, the knob in the middle does the feedback, the number of repeats. The knob on the right does the output. So just keep playing down and I'll...
Now I feel like a ninny
And that...
for getting rid of mine.
And that is both the massively brilliant thing about the ARDX20 and the thing that a lot of people just can't live with, that absolutely classic Bucket Brigade super warm, no brightness in the repeats, and then it goes off into degradation and distortion as it degrades, which is what a great analog delay does.
Yes, that's right.
And then that takes you into your self oscillation and all that business, which we'll get into in a minute. Right, side B.
Can I just say, I've loved revisiting all of these. Playing through that again has got me a little bit emotional. Because I remember that sound and going, oh, that is it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it really is. It's the best analog delay.
Well,
it just is magic with the Amazeo.
We haven't even really employed them. If it's got emotional now, it's about to get a lot worse. So we'll go over to side B, and now we'll kick the Amazeo in. I'll just turn that off for a second. So now what you can do with the Amazeo is, off you go, Daniel. Tap tempo, and you can even change the subdivision.
Awesome.
But this will really send him squiffy. Keep going. Modulation.
Yeah.
Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful modulation. For whatever reason, I'm not hearing it as fully as I've heard it, so I don't know if we've messed something up. It's not as obvious as it is some other days.
Yeah, but you can still hear it, and it just, that's what I would have it.
Yeah.
So, and what's interesting is because we're just hearing delay, right? Have a play and, kick on the Carpe Diem.
analog messing around with self-oscillation gets harder on side B because the time knob doesn't work.
Yes. Yeah.
You have to use the tap tempo, which is a bit weird. Yeah, man.
It's just glorious.
Really, really glorious. And I think I stopped using it because it's a lot of pedal board real estate.
Yeah.
Because I ended up using analog delay purely really for shorts and slaps, and smaller things I think could do the job. And but
it's so lovely to hear it again.
Being able to go between the two sounds,
Yeah.
and being able to tap tempo and being able to turn the modulation on and off in a true analog delay, is.
But it's lovely because this pedal was really the start of our analog delay journey.
Yeah.
You know, and hearing it again, it's just like, oh man, it's still. That's the beautiful thing about analog. It's always going to do that thing. You know, it's just magical.
And I love the way it's right next to the Big Sky.
Yeah, and it's very happy there as well.
Yeah.
All right, finally, just quickly, I threw the Elec Lady on because it's something I had used because I didn't want to take my beloved old mistress out. And after, and then the Red Wings come out, which is just my dream flanger, but I wanted to hear it again just quickly.
Okay.
And we can tell you what we can do. Well, why don't we play out with this, throw this on and make some noise?
Okay, what we'll do is Dan will play, we'll have a really good demo of the Elec Lady, and then I'll add some stuff in after that.
Beautiful.
Yeah?
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay.